Hi, this is Dr. Syed from India. Today I am going to teach you about NEBOSH International General Certificate, Element number 9, Part A, Work Equipment Hazards and Risk Control. Types of work equipment. The term work equipment is applicable to machinery, appliances, tools, etc. Machines. There are different types of machines has been used in the industries. Some of the machineries are power presses, woodworking machines, abrasive wheels and photocopiers. Tools. There are a lot of tools has been used in different types of industries. Some of the simple tools are hammers and chisels and portable electric drills. Assembled machines with a number of items which work together like bottling plant. Vehicles. Vehicles are used within workplace like forklift trucks, pallet trucks and so many other things, etc. Suitable work equipment. Work equipment must be suitable for the purpose for which it is to be used and appropriate for the work environment. The equipment is selected by the employer with the assurance that they are appropriate for the work that is to be undertaken and is used in accordance with the manufacturer's specification and instructions. If the equipment is adapted for certain work, it must still be suitable for its intended purpose. If you are using some machinery or equipment in certain locations, the location in which the work equipment is used must be assessed first, so that to take into an account that any risk from particular circumstances. Compliance marking. Compliance marking is one of the important requirements in the industry. Some of the electrical equipment and machinery has been marked with the compliance marking. If we see the compliance marking, we can assure that this equipment is quite safe to work with. So it is common practice for some of the manufacturers to show some mark on the machines as a health and safety standard. The British Standard Institute and American National Standard Institutes are following these practices. In the European Union, the fixing of a CE mark to a piece of machinery shows that this machine or part of this machine confirms the essential health and safety requirements for that machinery. It provides an assurance of the initial integrity of the equipment. CE mark. The manufacturers must produce a declaration of conformity stating that the product meets the requirements of the directives which apply to it, and the standards or other references which were used to judge that it complies. The act of fixing the CE mark to the product and signing the declaration of conformity constitutes a declaration by the manufacturer that the product meets the requirement of all the directives which apply to it. The duty is on the manufacturer to take responsibility for this actually being true. Marking a product which is not fully in accordance with the requirements of the applicable directives is an offense. Now we will see what are the different types of hazards of machinery and equipment. Employers must take effective measures to prevent people coming into contact with dangerous parts of machinery. Any moving part of a machinery may cause personal injury, including sharp edges, etc. You are seeing a photograph of a grinding machine. This machine consists of mechanical hazards and non-mechanical hazards also. We will see what are they. Restrictions of use of this machinery and equipment. Equipment having specific risks to health and safety should be restricted, but can be operated with HSE measures and controls. Any repairs, modifications, maintenance or servicing should be carried out by a trained and competent person. Use of equipment. Equipment having specific risks to health and safety should be restricted, but can be operated with HSE measures and controls. Repairs, modifications, maintenance or service should be carried out by a competent and trained people who have been specifically designated to perform the work. Instruction, information and training. All the operators of machinery and equipment must be provided with adequate health and safety information, either in the form of writing or orally. The written information should include the manufacturer's manuals, warning labels, information sheets, etc. For more complex machinery, the above information should be available in an easy format by which workers will be able to understand. Instructions, information and training. All the operators must be trained well on the equipment they are expected to use and should be aware of the health and safety implications and potential risks. Young and fresh operators should be closely supervised by a competent person. Appropriate training should be provided for the maintenance staff. In fact, if the machinery and equipment is more complex, the bigger the risk, and they should be provided with more information, instructions and adequate training. Maintenance and inspection of pressure system. Boilers, pressure vessels and air receivers are the most dangerous equipment which has been used in the industry, because they are repeatedly subjected to high stress and aggressive conditions during normal operations. Now, maintenance and inspection of pressure system is most important in the industry. If they are not regularly maintained and inspected, the structure and safety system can be deteriorated to a dangerous state by failing catastrophically. Maintenance and inspection of pressure system. All these equipments are fitted with safety devices to avoid the incidents. The employer should effectively maintain the equipment and particularly the safety devices. Routine checks and maintenance should be carried out to ensure that the equipment and the attached devices remain safe to use at all times. This is applicable not only to easily visible parts of the equipment but also to other parts which may be critical to safety. This type of equipment should have a program of preventive maintenance. Any faults or parts found to be faulty or likely to fail must be repaired or replaced. Maintenance work should be undertaken by a competent person. Maintenance of live equipment should be avoided, and if this is not possible, a permit to work system should be used. Employers should keep records of inspection and measures taken. Machinery controls and safety. Machinery controls are most important factor to work safely. Machine controls should be designed well so that we can work very safely. Basically, all work equipment should have some control system for the starting up, restarting due to any reasons, and there should be also a provision of emergency stoppage of the machines. Emergency stop controls. Machinery should have readily accessible emergency stop controls. Emergency stop control are the devices that should not be used routinely to stop machines, or they should not be treated as alternative to guard the machinery. Standard emergency stops have a red mushroom head push in button with an yellow background. Normally they are lock in type, and resetting the stop should not restart the machine. Emergency stop switch. Emergency stops should be located at the workstation and it's clearly visible to operate. Environment. Environment is one of the most important requirements to work with any machine safely. It's necessary to incorporate other controls and measures to ensure that machinery is used safely and maintained in a safe condition. Apart from issues relating to the machine itself, there are other important considerations relating to the immediate environment of the machine and the way in which it's used. These include the following: stability of the machinery. If there is no stability to the machine, then it's very dangerous to work with this machine, because if the stability is not there, there won't be any safety. Any part of work equipment which has to be used in a fixed position, they should be secured to prevent movements. This can be done by bolts, clamps, ties, etc. If it is a mobile equipment such as cranes, this can be by the use of stabilizers, counterbalancers and outriggers. Now we are seeing a photograph of a dumper. This is a trailer dumper where this trailer dumper is lifted to an angle of about 60 degrees with a load. Though it has been lifted up, the machine will be stable. This dumper will be lifted up and the material will be unloaded and dumped out. But still nothing will happen. The machine will be stable. Because this machine has been designed in such a way that this should be stable in all conditions. Lighting in the workplace. A workplace needs a sufficient lighting so that people can work safely without any hindrances. Suitable and sufficient lighting must be provided at any place where a person is carrying out the work with any machinery or equipment. Additional lighting may be provided if necessary when carrying out some special operations or maintenance work. Markings and warnings on the lifting equipment. You can see a photograph of swing jib crane. The capacity of this crane is 2 tons. It is clearly visible on the jib, written as SWL2T. All equipment should have clear visible marking and identifiable easily. The marking and warning signs are indicated as per the hazard and risk created by the equipment. This will depend on the task being performed and the type of equipment being used. The lifting equipment should have a very clear marking. The marking should be as follows. Clear markings of safe working load on cranes, forklifts, trucks, lifting chains and tackle and ropes. Clear markings of operating instructions should be there. Marking of maximum and minimum operating speeds of abrasive wheels, circular saws and band saws, etc. You are seeing here a photograph of chains, that is lifting equipment, hooks and chains. You can see here a tag. Here they clearly written about the maximum load which can bear this lifting equipment. The markings should be as follows. Marking of maximum and minimum size of components of workpieces. Clear marking of hot, cold and abrasive surfaces. Marking of ejection hazards of for fumes, sparks and dust, etc. You can see here, these are the tags and posters where you can see that it's a danger because it's hot. They write as danger and hot. You can see here 164 hot and cold. Water flow directions 50 mm and 15 mm, that is 50 mm diameter, 15 mm thickness. So here also cold hot has been marked here. 82 hot and 82 cold. So marking will be like this. You can also see the markings for X-rays and radiography. You can see the marking here, warning. This is a symbol of X-ray or radiography. They write as X-ray radiation or somewhere radiography like this. So some specific markings such as radioactive, and some markings like mind your head. Markings can consist of words, letters, shapes, or pictograms. These are the visual and audible warning signals and devices. So, visual or audible warning devices are required to alert the people from the danger. Some places we can see flashing lights are fixed on the equipment, on the control panels, to show that this is a faulty equipment. So they can show that faulty signals. When they show the faulty signals, we should not use that equipment. Reversing alarms are fixed on vehicles. You might have seen the reversing alarms on so many vehicles. When the vehicles get back, you will hear the reversing alarm. So that you should take care yourself that the vehicle is coming back. Visual warnings are used in some areas while they are limited in that area. But there is one people looking in that particular direction. You can see a warning at the right side. The warning says, potential combustible dust hazards. Follow safe work practices. If you see this warning, you have to follow the safe working practices for combustible dust hazard. Audible warnings are not be suitable in a noisy working environment where workers are wearing ear defenders. Some of the areas there will be a lot of noises. There is a lot of noise. That's why the workers they wear ear defenders. Of course, it is very safe to use ear defenders, but they may not be able to hear the instructions of their supervisor. So in such area, these ear defenders and these audible warnings doesn't have any use. Safe working place. We need a safe working place to work. That place should be free of all types of hazards. This is the duty of the employer to give a safe working place to his workers. A free and a safe working place free from all types of hazards should be given to the workers. The working place should not be a congested place. This is a very small place where a worker can move freely without any obstructions. Safe working place. The area of the place where the workers are working on different types of machinery should be calculated and decide how many machines and how many workers can be employed considering all the other facilities. The employer should take care and take the responsibilities of providing a safe working place. The employer should take care of the following. A free space should be provided near and around each machine to allow clear separation from passing traffic and for the storage of tools and work safely. The another thing is the control points of the machine should be in the reach of the operator. Whenever if there is any emergency, the operator should be able to stop the machines immediately. The another responsibility of the employer is he should make a system of work that should be effective to ensure that when work equipment is about to start, no person is in a place where he would be exposed to a risk. When this is not reasonably practicable to the employer, then physical barriers or floor markings may be arranged to make the workplace unobstructed and safe. We have seen the responsibilities of the employer. Now we will see what are the responsibilities of the operators and workers. Using the equipment only for the intended purpose and in the manner in which it is intended to be used. Workers, the operators, they should use the equipment only for the intended purpose, but not for any other purpose. Workers should not use the equipment when under the influence of alcohol or other drugs. They are strictly avoided when they are in the influence of alcohol or other drugs. They should not work or operate the machines. Do not make any compromise with the safety procedures and measures. Do not make any compromise. It is very dangerous. You should always follow the safety procedures and measures. No compromise. The workers and the operators should follow proper procedures in the operation of the work equipment. Only authorized and trained persons are allowed to operate the equipment. Untrained persons are not allowed to operate the equipment. Daily take care of the equipment and do cleaning, checking and servicing the equipment. Take immediate action in case of any emergency or in case of a breakdown. Always report the fault to the immediate supervisor and always keep and maintain the records for the inspections. Hand tools. Manual hand tools, powered portable hand tools which are entirely used manually are having access to wrenches, spanners, screwdrivers, etc. Powered portable hand tools are handheld tools which have an external power sources such as electricity, compressed air, liquid fuel, hydraulic and pneumatic actuated, including an electric screwdriver to a pneumatic drill. Hand tool hazards. Now we'll see what are the different types of hazards with hand tools. One is generally the hazard is from the operator's error. The operator is the main hazard in the hand tools. Hitting one's thumb when using a hammer. Almost all the injuries are caused by hand tools or contact injuries. This is a localized nature injury when the part of the body strikes to the tool or the body is hit by the tool itself. Hand tools are like burns from a blowtorch or cut from a saw or chisel. So we'll get the injuries from blowtorch or cuts from a saw or a chisel. Some of the accidents have happened from the misuse of the tools, like using the screwdriver as a chisel. Now we'll see the safe use of equipment. How to use the equipment safely. The employer is responsible for the safe conditions and use of all equipment used by workers. The safe use of equipment can be acquired by the following. The appropriate training and instructions should be given to all the operators and workers. This is to ensure the correct use of tools by competent workers, so that the operator and the other workers nearby should be safe without any harm. Safe use of equipment. Correct maintenance of tools and cleaning, and always keep them in good condition to avoid slips and contact injuries. Let us keep the equipment always safe. Regular checks and the withdrawal of defective and damaged tools with new one. Always check up that the equipment is in condition or not. Otherwise, defective and damaged tools and equipment should be replaced with the new one. Protect eyes, hands and arms while using hand tools and appropriate PPEs. This is the responsibility of the management to ensure the correct tools are used at all times and appropriate maintenance and periodical checks are carried out. Hazards of portable power tools. This is also same as manually powered hand tools. Power tools are not so different, but more hazardous than hand tools. There is higher risks and injuries may be much more severe than the hand tools. Power tools have electrical problems. The typical incidents are electric shock incidents, burn from arcing or fire. Poor maintenance and positioning of cables cause a lot of incidents. Tools operated by petrol or diesel have fuel spillage and have the risk of fire from flammable vapors. If there is severe noise and vibrations is prolonged by the use of these tools, it may lead to hearing problems and can have upper limb disorders. The emission of dust and other fragments from sanders, saws and drills may lead to a possible source of breathing and lung problems. A lot of trip hazards are possible due to the wrong position of cables or pipes. My dear students, this is the end of Element-9 Part A, Work Equipment Hazards and Risk Control.